Listen, we back, man. Episode 3, you know what I'm talking about? Episode 3, you know what I'm talking about? We going all the way up. Hello, welcome everybody. What's up with it? I'm your host. I'm your man, Rand Black, man. I want to say good morning, good Sunday morning to everybody. As you see, we got a little theme today. You know what I'm talking about? It's football season, and you know what it is. Fly, Eagles, fly. You already know what it is. I'm kind of excited to see who else wearing their jersey today. See what teams we got on here today, because you know me. I'm going to talk a little trash if you're wearing the wrong jersey. You know what I'm talking about? You got the wrong jersey on. I'm going to talk that trash to you. You already know. You did. Welcome to the round table where serious conversations happen. You did. Serious conversations happen here. You heard me? Again, I'm your host, Rand Black. Thank you for tuning in this fine, beautiful Sunday morning. Before we get to my guest panel, and I introduce my guest panel as always. You did. Let me go ahead and do a recap. From last episode. Okay, last episode we talked about stepdaddy issues, boyfriends, new husbands versus the kids, children. You know what I'm talking about? When is it okay for a new boyfriend or a new husband to discipline the kids? Is it okay for a new boyfriend or a husband to discipline the kids? Make sure that you taking care of your baby mama or baby daddy drama. Take care of that first. Don't let that interaction mess up your relationship. Topic 2 was sexual assault in athletes. So many different athletes in so many different sports catching sexual assault cases all over the place. And I ain't talking about just in this generation. I'm talking about from generation to generation to generation. It's been going on for years. And yet we as the fan, as the buyer, as the viewer, we haven't really done much about it. We haven't stopped it from happening. We haven't protested. We haven't done any of those things. So we kind of talked about why. Why is that allowed? Why are we letting that happen? Or why are we just sitting around still viewing these professional sports, even though, you know what I'm saying, these things are happening? We talked about that as well. And the last thing we talked about, topic number 3, last episode, was transgenders. And in the community itself, not just transgenders, but the transgender community and them fighting for their rights and their privileges as well. We talked about the man being convicted in prison. He ended up finding out that this gentleman or this woman now has gotten 2 other girls pregnant in the prison. You know what I mean? And he got sent to a transgender prison. We talked about transgenders in high school sports and college sports. And then we even discussed on and topped on it very, very briefly. Tapped in on it just a little bit, but transgenders and in the classroom, teaching your kids. How do you feel about that? Would you be okay with a transgender man or woman being in your child's classroom, teaching their class, 3rd grade, 4th grade, 5th grade, whatever grade it would be? Would you be okay with a transgender person, woman or man, teaching your child in class? We discussed all those topics, episode 2. If you didn't see that, go back, check out episode 2. We've been getting the process together slowly but surely. You know what I'm talking about? Sound problems here and there, bro, but we done got a little bit better at it. We getting better every day. If you haven't noticed, we got one of the dopest podcasts in the city, in the state, on the West Coast, in the United States of America. I'm just going to go ahead and put a whole topic. You already know what I'm talking about. You did? And I got one of the coldest guest panels ever created in the history of guest panels in the kingdom of guest panelism. You dig what I'm talking about? Yeah, it's a kingdom of guest panels. Don't even worry about it. If you ain't never heard about it, then you ain't important enough to be able to be invited to the kingdom of guest panels. But if you have been, then you know where it's at. Don't tell nobody. It's like Peter Pan now. We can't tell you where it's at. You just got to go there. If you don't know, you don't know. You know what I'm talking about? Then, let me go ahead and give you for today, before I give you my, the WTFs. I got some WTFs for y'all. I told y'all we're going to do the WTFs every show. You already know what it is. Let me go ahead and bring in my guest panel one by one. You already know what it is. Let me go sip my coffee. Everybody got coffee. Get your coffee in this morning. Get your coffee in. Put your pinky up. You got a pinky. I don't know how many people ain't got pinkies, but if you got one, put your pinky up. You did. All right. I'm ready to go now. I'm ready to go. Looking fly as can be, my little sis. You know what I'm talking about? I don't know. I'm about to talk to her because she got this area of her today is a little exposed. I don't really know what's going on, but I'm gonna go ahead and bring her in here. You know what I'm talking about? Looking like $1 million today. I don't think she got her jersey on, but it doesn't matter. The viewers are not gonna care. You know what I'm talking about? Shout out to my little sis, CC. What up, CC?
What's up?
What up, though? You got your little blue jean jacket on. You got your little twins hanging out today. That's crazy.
It ain't a jersey, but it's something to look at, right?
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and skip on that because you like my little sis. I can't even be looking that hard. But you look great. I hear you. And your dog is in the business. I see him. He being nosy. You know what I'm talking about? But you know, I love you. I appreciate you being here today. You already know what it is. You already know what it is. Let me go ahead and bring in my next guest. My next one. I'm talking about probably one of the craziest panelists that we got on the guest panel. You know what I'm talking about? Sometimes you don't know what the hell she gonna say. And I think we done all got used to it already. You know what I'm talking about? Even some of us that didn't even know her before the show, they know now that Tennessee might say about anything. It might get ugly when she gets to talking. That might be why her show is called Did We Say Too Much? Because you know sis might just say a little too much. Tennessee, what up, sis? What's cracking with it? You got me on mute. I can't hear nothing you talking about. You got me on mute.
How y'all doing this morning?
You already know.
I'm a little hungover, but I'm here.
Hey, get your water in. You gotta get you some water. You're talking about liquid IV saves lives. You heard me? Liquid IV. You heard?
Already.
You already know. That's my sis right there, Tennessee Vice President of Crown Republic Entertainment, LLC. You already know what it is. I gotta bring in my Brody, though. My Brody, man, listen, this dude right here, man, is one of the reasons why we revamped the podcast, why we came up with a brand new vision all the way from across the states. You know what I'm talking about? My Brody said, yo, man, I want to work with you. Let's do something. Let's get it cracking. And here we are, getting it cracking. You know what I'm talking about? My Brody, my man, OB. What up, though, Brody?
What's happening? You doing all right?
You already know it. I see you got that jersey on. I see you. Listen, I ain't gonna give away your secrets, but I'm just gonna tell you that your financial situation has grown, like has really leveled up immensely. You know what I'm talking about? You got pianos and shit in the background and shit. You know, cobblestone fireplaces and shit. Like it's going up where you at now, huh?
Hey, we're trying.
Man, listen, when I grow up, I want to be like you, OB. You heard me? I'm trying to be like you. You heard me? I appreciate you, Brody, for being here today. You already know what it is. Hey, listen, I got two more to make real quick. You did. Listen, I always pick on her, so I ain't going to pick on her today because she be getting mad at me when I pick on her. You feel me? So I ain't going to pick on her today. Today, I'm going to do a formal introduction. You know what I'm talking about? From islands all over the place, from San Diego, California to Arizona. You dig what I'm talking about? One of the most influential content creators that I know right now, moving across the country. You dig what I'm talking about? If you don't know her, you should probably tap in on her, man. She do a whole lot with very little to do it with, but she keep it moving. You heard what I'm talking about? Say what up to my family right here. Miss Mama, what up, though?
Hello, good morning.
Hey, she got her Hawaiian clothes on today. You looking real brightful today. You know what I'm talking about?
You can't tell me 2 minutes before to go put on a jersey. I was like, I already have this planned.
I mean, you know, that's you know, I thought about that after I put it in the group. that the ladies in the group probably already had their outfit picked out. It was probably laid out on the bed all weekend long. You know what I'm talking about, with the shoes and everything. I already know, because you and sis is really trying to do it in. I don't know what y'all doing. I see y'all brand building though. Y'all got something to look at. I'm seeing y'all.
I ain't got nothing on Chris today.
Yeah. Hey, boy, you know what I'm talking about? Boy, man. Boy, listen, boy. I wish I was still in the NFL and my trainer looked like that. I'd be like, how you doing? You know what I'm talking about? Thank you for coming. I appreciate you showing up today. You know what I'm talking about? We about to get it in. You already know. And last but not least, the big homie. You know what I'm talking about? One of the most influential people I know right now in the hip-hop business. You know what I'm talking about? Somebody really, really putting on for the city of Las Vegas. I'm super proud of him more than y'all ever know, man. The man came to me in the very beginning of his movement, his wave. Yo, Black, I'm thinking about doing this. What you think? I'm all for it. Do it. And shit, if I known that he was going to do it the way he did it, I probably would have jumped on and asked to be a partner in this thing. You know what I'm talking about? What up, Big Brody? My man, Ray Son. What up, family?
What it do, man? What it do? I got my jersey on. Hip hop.
Hip-hop. That's a different type. That's a different type of jersey. We're not even gonna go into that one. There it is. I see Las Vegas Raiders. You already know that it is. You know what I'm
Let's go, Raiders.
Ooh, Vegas. You know what I'm talking about?
Right.
I appreciate you, Big Brody, for showing up. We about to get it in. So let me go ahead and bring everybody in when I get ready to do this. Let me go ahead and get ready to do this. Boop, boop, boop. What the? You know what I'm talking about? I'm going to go ahead and put that in. Oh, my bad. My big cousin Cowboy, he's going to try to chime in a little while. He is actually at the Pittsburgh Steelers game right now. You know what I'm talking about? So we're going to try to get some live coverage from the game. You know me, I'm a stickler, so I'm like, yeah, if you're going to do it, the broadcast from the game, I'm going to need you to get on the sideline, try to do some interviews. You know what I'm talking about? Holler at the coach. You know what I'm talking about? I'm going to really need to see how hard you working out there for real. Don't stay in the stands. Jump the wall. Go hard. You know what I'm saying? Catch a case for the round table. You know what I'm talking about? Catch a case for the round table. We're going to see if he do that. I got his bail money, though. It ain't nothing. Let's go. Check it out. What the fuck? All right? I'm a little confused, as I always am when it comes to this, but we're going to talk about it. Kanye West says he's never read a book.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not never.
No way.
Hold on.
So
forgive me for a minute. I'm confused. My nigga, you didn't read Dr. Seuss or nothing? You never read a book? Not never?
So how you put lyrics together?
I understand why he made an album called College Dropout. I can see why now. If you never read a book, you're going to definitely drop out of college. You know what I'm talking about? That's gonna happen. Y'all think this is cap or no?
Cap.
He worth $2 billion. He worth $2 billion. He's had to read some books.
The man said he never read a book ever. Not never. He never. Not never. He never read a book. Not never.
Ever.
When I read the article, I said, "Damn, what? Like, you got to be capping that. Come on, bro. You never read a book, bro? Not never. So you mean in kindergarten, first grade, second grade, third grade, when they was teaching us to read, you didn't read a book? You was like, nah, I'm cool on the books. I ain't.
Redfish.
I do the homework, but I ain't reading no books. Like I'll do the tracing of the letters and all that, but I ain't reading no.
Green eggs and ham. Like, come on.
Right.
Everybody read Dr. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and go on. My bad. I'm just saying. My first statement was you didn't read no Dr. Seuss. Everybody read Dr. Seuss. You know what I'm talking about? Can you see it in a house? Did they do it with a mouth? That was your first rap. You know what I'm talking about? If you read Dr. Seuss was really the first rapper. You know what I'm talking about? Can you do it in a crib? Would you do it on my bed? You know what I'm talking about? Like,
Right.
I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna keep it pushing. Because Kanye weird already. You already know Kanye weird. The next, what the fuck? Listen, the teen that killed her rapist. Let me back up, sir. Maybe y'all not hearing me. A teenage girl who got raped, escaped from her rapist, and then killed her rapist. And then the court ordered her to pay $150,000.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Our shit is backwards. Justice system is backwards.
That's real crazy.
I can rape you, and then you hurt me, and I can sue you?
The family.
That's crazy.
Wait, that's money she had to pay to the family?
Yeah, because she killed him. And so the family, for pain and suffering or whatever.
They filed a civil suit on her. They filed a civil suit on her
$150,000
for murdering her rapist. Listen, I'm gonna go past this
she
one
was
too.
15.
We're not gonna talk about this one that much either, because I'm gonna sip my coffee to that one.
Hey, but the people did come with her and started a GoFundMe and raised over $400,000 for her.
Ooh.
So
Right.
yeah, I mean,
right.
At least she gets that paid off kind of quick and got a little extra in her pocket. You know what I'm saying? That's the best you can hope for in that situation.
But
what does that do for her sentence? Because she got sentenced.
Why don't you sue his family in a civil case for all the trauma that he caused her? But she'll never ever get over it.
Listen, I'm gonna say this. Thank you, Ray Son, for bringing up the GoFundMe. That's cool, right? And I'm glad that people went out of their way to help the young lady, right? But we live in a country that I thought that that shouldn't even have to happen. We shouldn't have to be doing no GoFundMe to pay for the funds that was put upon her by the courts because she was being held hostage and being raped, and she murdered her rapist, and now she got to pay. Yeah,
the American courts get shit wrong all the time, though. You know, these courts get shit wrong all the time. If they're not letting off.
Go ahead, bro.
I'm just saying, if they're not letting off crooked ass police, you know what I'm saying, or politicians that deserve time, so the courts is getting it wrong all the time.
I feel like the movie Judge Dredd. Like, we're gonna have to restart these judges. We're gonna start over. We're gonna need to put some more judges in. We need to redo the judicial system because it's not working properly.
Right.
That's crazy. Last one. Let's go talk about this one. And it's gonna go ahead and ride right into what we were just talking about, Ray Son. In the state of Illinois, this is what the fuck? They have okayed the purge. They have okayed the purge. Maybe y'all haven't seen the movie. Maybe y'all don't understand. But when I first saw the movie, I had already kind of took into account, like, yo, is it art imitates life or is it life imitates art? Because sooner or later, they're going to start doing this. It's going to be factual. Well, we here now. Illinois has approved by law the purge. Now, I don't want to go too much into it because to me, it's some negative shit. And I don't want to see this. I don't want to see this jump states. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like it will. And I feel like there'll be more states that are going to happen to open up and be okay with this idea. But so in the country of the United States, we're going to allow people to kill each other, rob from each other, steal from each other at a certain point in time on a certain day, and that's okay?
Well, it's going to change. Starting 2023 is when they said that those laws are going to start taking in place.
Yeah. Illinois.
Mm-hmm.
Chicago,
already where the crime list is high.
A blue state. A blue state. I mean, not to go into politics, but a blue state.
Right.
My only question for you is, when they start purging, right? Listen to me when I say this, because you already know a list is being made. It's almost like the Nazis. Before the Nazis started doing what they was doing, they made lists so they could go door to door and pick up the people that they wanted to pick up. Let's talk about facts, right? So I'm just saying, if this has already been okay, do you not think that they're not sitting around right now making a list of the people that they want to go get? These are the people that we're targeting. We got to make sure we hit them first.
Look, who and how, okay? Who they want and how they going to do it.
I just want to put that thought out there. I say again, to me, it's a negative. That's a very negative energy. I don't want to dwell in that energy, but if people talking about we in end times, I'm believing it right now. I definitely believe we in our end days because some of the things that's going on in the world today, that shit don't make no sense. Some of this just don't make sense. For us to have common sense, shit ain't too common no more. I'm just saying. Last one of the what the fuck? Listen, last one. Do y'all know that we are in day 207 of the Ukraine war? Do y'all know we about 160 something days away from this war going on for a year now? And nobody's intervened? Nobody's helped Ukraine defend themselves? Let me take that back. We've sent supplies. The UK has sent supplies. The UN is helping. That's cool. But ain't nobody put boots on the ground in Ukraine.
America's not putting boots on the ground, but we have sent billions upon billions of dollars to help them. And our water is still screwed up over here. Our homelessness is still screwed up over here. Our veterans are still screwed up over here. Our school systems are still low.
I appreciate you, Ray Son. That's exactly where I'm going with it. How can we throw millions and millions and billions of dollars into another country and our own country's already still messed up?
Right.
I don't understand. But listen, I'm going to get off of this topic right after this. Listen, it's crazy when you want to police everybody else, but your own backyard ain't policed. You feel me? It's crazy when you want to put cameras through the whole neighborhood to watch what everybody else doing, but you don't want no cameras in your backyard.
We are the Karen of the world.
Man.
And that's so true.
Ain't no joke. That chief boy, stupid serious for real. I want to welcome everybody back, man. Thank y'all for showing up to our show, man. My guest panel again. Thank y'all for coming. Appreciate y'all being here. It is cracking. You already know. I'm super excited about the show today. You feel me? We got some topics, and we're going to go up for you. Go up. You dig? We just gave you the recap. You know what I'm talking about? The recap. I hope everybody goes back and checks out the other shows, man. Please do. You know what I'm talking about? Please go back and check out the other shows. I say again, I believe we have one of the best podcasts in the country. You know what I mean? Highly opinionated from very successful people from around the world, from around the country with something to say and some substance when they say it. You dig? So we're going to start episode 3 today. Episode 3, the first topic today is death of the rap game. Now, forgive me when I say this, okay? But gun violence in the rap game has taken one rapper's life since 2018, 2017, I believe. One rapper has died every year since 2017, 2018. Now, I know me and Ray Son had this debate last time or two episodes ago. We talked about Biggie and Tupac and the void that when they died, it created for hip hop, right? And I want to spin off into that a little bit, but not go in the same direction. Because the debate we had last time was how big was that void? How long did it last? Was it really that important, right? But the spinoff that I want to go into today is in Biggie and Tupac dying, it illuminated or it shined a light on us as a hip hop generation of, we don't want that. Right? It shined a light on something for us to be like, hey, how many more artists are going to die before we end up changing our mentality about how we feel about hip hop or what hip hop represents, right? what's okay for us to talk about in hip hop, right? And what's not okay, right? So today I want to just kind of talk about some of these young men that have passed. I want to give some of these young men their flowers, because something that I'm really big on is I hate, and I'm gonna use hate because I feel that certain way about it, but I hate when people all of a sudden become a fan of you when you die. I hate it. I hate it. More than you know, more than anybody will ever know. I hate it. Because to me, that's fake. It's fake to me. You wasn't banging that artist's music before. You wasn't paying attention to that artist before. You wasn't talking about that artist before. You had nothing to say about that artist prior to that artist dying. Then the artist dies, and everybody wants to jump on the wave. Hey, oh my God, that's been my favorite artist for a long time. Like, I can really say it about Nipsey. I ain't gonna say no names. You feel me? I ain't gonna say no names, but I followed Nipsey for a long time, right? I wasn't a big advocate or big fan, like, yo, Nipsey Hussle, one of the best rappers ever, but I watched his movement. I watched how he did his business. I supported what he was doing, right? But I can't say I was a huge fan of Nipsey, okay? Then when Nipsey died, all of a sudden I seen people sharing his music and, oh, my bro, oh, my guy, shout out to my dude. I've been loving Nipsey since. Man, if you don't, I ain't never heard you say nothing about a Nipsey. I've been in the car with you, ain't never heard his music play in your car. I ain't never seen you share a Nipsey song. You didn't even have a Nipsey shirt until the one he died on. Now all of a sudden you walking around with Nipsey shirts and talking about the movement continue, the marathon continue. Like, come on, bro. Like, I hate that, bro. Stop riding people's waves. My mama always told me, you don't talk about dead people.
That shit.
Respect dead people. Feel me? To me, that's disrespectful. Because if you didn't like me or support me when I was here, don't all of a sudden start liking me and supporting me when I'm gone. Now all of a sudden you my biggest fan, but when I was here, you had no support for me. Why don't y'all tap in, man? Tap in on what y'all think about that.
You for real? That's I seen it. And don't get me wrong, because I'm not from the West Coast. I'm a music head, but coming from where I'm coming from, we don't get the same music the West Coast got. So when I heard he was dead, I was like, okay, who is that? I'm sorry. I don't know him. I don't know of him. Okay? I apologize. Rest in paradise. What else do you want me to say? I'm not going to sit up here and lie and say, oh, I don't know who he is. I didn't even know who Sugar Free was until I got over here. So, I mean, I'm just being, and I love him. Like, I let you hit my, you understand what I'm saying? I'm just saying. I don't know, but I see it. Oh, now
Right.
you rocking? Oh, okay. I didn't know what that means. Oh, you don't know? Okay. All right, cool. Thank you.
Who else? What you got, OB?
Yeah, I think I see that a lot as well. And it's not just with rappers, you know, just people in general losing their lives, and then all of a sudden a lot of people want to bring them their flowers. Oh, that was my guy. Oh, I loved him, yada, yada, yada. You probably never even kicked it with dude, but now that he's died, you want to come and be there instead of when we're here and our presence is known on this earth. Is when we should be able to, you know, appreciate people's lives and be there for people. But what really stands out about this death, and especially this last one with PNB Rock, to me is Empire record label is what's crazy to me. In the last 4 years, 6 affiliated rappers of Empire have passed away, all having a life insurance policy taken out on them by the CEO of Empire. The list is PNB Rock, Mo3, King Von, Young Dolph, XS Tenacion, and Draco the Ruler. So there's 6 rappers in 4 years that have had a life insurance policy taken out on them that just supposedly ends up just getting killed. To me, that is more alarming than anything that we've seen in recent years in the hip hop industry.
Hey, remind me before we end this topic. I got something to put on top of that because somebody brought that to me. I'm not going to talk about it yet. I want to go to Ray's son, but just remind me. Oh,
I got you.
Ray's son, what you got?
I think the bandwagon part is kind of crazy, but I don't really have a problem with people the masses getting that don't know about it. Say like Tennessee wasn't sure about Nipsey and whatnot. the masses getting put on and then starting to quote unquote bandwagon it, especially for Nipsey, because what he was representing, what he stood for, if you did know about him and you know about him now after his death, why not put on for him? You know what I'm saying? Buy his shirt. Even if you didn't know him before, you know what he stands for now. So I don't know. It's almost like a two-way street. Nip was doing shit, you know, crazy in the community. So popping on his bandwagon, I'm all right with that. Some of these other cats I can't really speak for. I don't know, but why not hop on the bandwagon if you didn't know him before, but now you do? You know what I'm saying? The music can still be relevant. It's like the music doesn't go away. You know what I'm saying? The history they left doesn't go away.
Facts.
So
no, that's not my point when I say that. My point when I say that is if you couldn't respect him or his grind or his hustle when he was here,
mm-hmm.
What are you doing now that spreads it? It's almost like Martin Luther King or Malcolm X, right? There's a whole lot of black people that didn't support either or, right? But then when they died, all of a sudden they was like, oh yeah, man, he was trying to do good things. Well, why you didn't say that to him when he was here?
Well, yeah. For the hip hop industry though, you can say that, but it's a million rappers out there. So people don't know who they want to listen to. Nipsey was West Coast, so maybe people in Tennessee and New York didn't catch on yet. You know what I mean?
It's a million rappers, agreed. But
it's
there's only a select
rappers.
few. It's only a select few really out here doing shit and in their communities. You feel me? So I hear your argument. I just don't agree with the argument because I feel like people want to know what they want to know. And if you really want to know, you're going to go out and figure it out. You're going to research it. You're going to put in the legwork and the time to figure that information out. A lot of these people don't want to know. They just ride the wave when it happened. Oh, Nipsey died. Nipsey. Oh, let me look up Nipsey. Oh, I love Nipsey. Remember this song? You only know that song because you just YouTubed it.
Right, but also in these markets where the music is being force-fed to us. And on the East Coast, they're probably not being force-fed Nipsey. You know what I'm saying? They're being force-fed Dipset, the Locks,
okay,
you know, Jay-Z, all that. On the West Coast, we might be getting fed Nip and Crooked Eye and West Coast artists. So, you know, they might not be up on it as we are on the West Coast.
I feel like I hear you. And again, I say I'm not arguing with you. I'm just bringing up the point too. There's a whole thing called the internet now. There's a whole thing that connects people across the world now where you ain't got to be fed nothing. You can go find whatever you want to find. You feel me? If you want an argument and you want to point to that argument, you can find a point to your argument wherever you want to. So I say again to you, what you're saying is not wrong. We definitely, by these record labels being spun into a certain area, right? But in the technology age, in the cyber world age, I just find it hard to believe that somebody was like, hey, oh my God, I never knew. That's crazy. Well, if you wanted to know, you could have known. You decided that you didn't want to know. And I'm no mark on Tennessee. I know 10. 10 didn't want to know. 10 didn't care nothing about no Nipsey Hussle. But I bet if somebody in some reggae would have died, she'd have been on it. You feel me? I'm just speaking real talk. If somebody in the reggae game would have died, she'd have been like, oh shit. You know, Shabba Rocka Lock Third, the son of Dan Marley, Super Marley, little cousin, he died today. You know what I'm talking about? Tennessee would have knew that. So all I'm saying is we know what we want to know, and we go out and research the information we want to know. Feel me? So it just bugs me a little bit when somebody dies, and then all of a sudden we want to show up to the funeral with flowers like, yo, that was my guy. No, it wasn't your guy. Let's not say that was my guy. Maybe that's the point that I'm making, Rashawn. Maybe we just need to say, yo, he died too soon. We should have respected him more when he was here. Go ahead.
Right. Well, Tennessee, how do you feel about Nip now? You didn't know him then, but you should know who he was now and what he represented. Now, how do you feel about him now after his passing?
He did a lot in the community. I mean, that's it.
Okay.
I mean, it's cool. He did a lot, but
but that's it.
Yeah, because I'm not.
You like niggas die every day, B.
I mean, it ain't. Yeah, but at the same time, like Randy said, I ain't want to know. It wasn't important to me. I'm not the following type female. I don't know. The songs I heard wasn't enough for me to go dig deep into, so I ain't go dig deep into. I did a little. Power to you, homie, because you did a lot. You know what I'm saying? A lot. He did more than what other you could have done and would
Definitely.
do. So I look up to that or condone that but that's it. Yep.
I hear you.
No, me too. Me too. Let's talk about
Right.
some, and I'm glad Chris brought it up. Let me say.
My bad.
No, you good. No, you good. No, you good. You already know. We here with you. You already know what it is. You know exactly what it is. We're gonna talk about it. You feel me? We're gonna talk about it. And ain't nothing, I say again, ain't nothing wrong with it. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like I get very perturbed, very disturbed when people don't support you when you hear, you know what I'm saying? But they want to jump on the bandwagon and support you when you go. I felt the same way about Tupac. You feel me? Everybody didn't like Tupac, and all of a sudden, as soon as Tupac died, it was thousands of millions of people everywhere talking about Tupac. Like, that's crazy, because when he was here, y'all wasn't supporting him like that. You feel me? So it's kind of crazy. Go ahead, Mama.
Rand, I feel like it's just what it comes down to is what is trending. So if it's trending to, Black Lives Matter, if that's trending, then you go support Black Lives Matter, even if you know nothing about it. If it's trending to go, oh, everybody's missing Nipsey, then you go and do that. But this isn't only like when you're dead. This is like when you're coming up, and I know you know this, like, you're not supporting me while I'm down here, but then when I make it, now all of a sudden we're best friends. So
right.
It's all across the board.
I feel like, and we're going to get off this topic so we can stay on time, but I feel like a lot of it has to do with jealousy. And I know that me and Ray Son have talked about this before. I'm sure that I've talked to other members of the panel about it before too, but your own friends and family don't really support you until they see somebody else supporting you. You feel me?
Right.
When the masses support you, all of a sudden your friends and family like, oh, that's my guy. I knew he was going to get on. That's crazy. Right. When I was inviting you to my show, when we was performing at the bar down the street, in the local community bar, you know what I'm talking about? When we got the show to be the undercard for somebody else, you didn't show up, you know what I'm talking about? When Naughty by Nature and the old school rappers came and I opened up for them, you didn't show up for that. When I hosted the Trina party and we was getting it cracking, you didn't show up for that. Then when the round table was going down, you didn't really show up for that. When the podcast, the rundown was going, you didn't really show up for that. Like, so now the round table's got 1 million viewers every show, and all of a sudden you in the background talking about, I knew they could do it, bro. I've been watching them since the very first episode.
You lying.
That part.
It's
that
all
just
good though.
Me. And in the comments, somebody, some Carter, right, said, why I'm so angry. I'm angry about the fake shit. Apparently you condone the fake shit, and that's cool. I don't condone fake shit. If you're going to be fake all the time.
Yeah. All the time.
You feel me? Don't all of a sudden say you my player partner, but when I'm going through it and you supposed to be supporting me, you don't support me. Because a little do you know, young man or old man or whoever you are, I appreciate you viewing the show, but I am, for one, definitely a supporter of Black communities. You might want to check my resume. Factual.
It's passion. It ain't anger, it's passion.
Man, I appreciate you, though. Thank you for chiming in and leaving a message. You feel me? But when we talking about it, you know what I mean? I'm talking about us as a people. You know what I'm talking about? I'm trying to change our community in a whole, white, black, green, yellow, or brown. It don't matter because we all got to live here. You feel me? We all got to stay here. You feel me? So I just don't condone fake shit. You feel me? But let's move on. Appreciate y'all. But let me go ahead and I want to put some names out here real quick. Go ahead, Ray Son.
Are we moving on to another topic, or are we staying on the hip hop situation real quick?
I want to talk about some of the people that died. Chris did a great job of mentioning some of their names, but I just want to put their names out there again, because I'm not with that fake shit. I want to talk about them while we're talking about them. You feel me? PNB, rest in peace. That man just, you know what I'm saying, just passed. it's kind of cold that his girl, and I'm not saying it's her fault, you know what I'm saying? But this is the world we live in now. If you put your location somewhere where everybody can see it, you never know who's going to pull up on you. You feel me? And that's kind of what happened in this situation. I disagree with some of the information that's up, and I don't know if it was a thing that she was out with her dude and she posted. You know what I'm talking about? She posted where we at and they pulled up on him. You feel me?
Right.
Triple X. I feel like Triple X was fighting of his music, but once he died, I went back and kind of checked out some of his music. And in some of his music, I just felt like it was real emo music. You feel me? I felt like it was a very depressed style of music. You feel me? So I think that had something to do with where his mind was. But he also, I want to say, he got murdered as well. You feel me? So another case where a young black man's life was taken way too early. You feel me? Nipsey, we already talked about Nipsey. Everything that Nips did for his community, you know what I mean? For his brand, for his people. For him to get murdered by a snitch, you know what I'm saying? And trying to gain some fame or
We good?
Frozen?
What happened? We good?
Did I move wrong?
here we go.
Right.
Bros, you good? Cause you like on
Hey, check it out. Hey, check it out real quick. Hey, check it out real quick, y'all. While Rand is stuck. So PNB Rock passed away. The acronym for PNB stands for, it's the intersection of Pistorius and Bayton Streets. If y'all didn't know what PNB stood for in the PNB Rock.
Yeah.
Pistorius
Go back
and
to
Bayton
OB and
Streets.
then we'll get off this topic real quick. OB, it's crazy that you bring up the Empire thing because I'm signed to Empire. And the homie brought that to me the other day, like, Black, you better be careful. And he said it in joking. But in having the discussion, it really sat with me for a minute, like, Black, you better be careful because Empire is cleaning out their cabinets right now. And I'm like, huh, what you talking about? And he gave me the same information that you just gave me, Chris, like, yo, a lot of these artists were signed to Empire. A lot of these artists were put on, like, life insurance policies, and they didn't even know they had these insurance policies on them. You know what I'm saying? The company itself took an insurance policy out on these people. You feel me? Like, that's crazy in itself. We're not going to go too far into it, but just sit back for a minute and think about that. Like, your company that you work at right now did a life insurance policy on you, and they didn't tell you about it. And then all of a sudden, 6 months to a year later, you die. That's very convenient, ain't it?
And we're talking.
It sounds like Empire know what's going on in the community.
Absolutely. I think a little bit more than that, though.
You think it's conspiracy? You think they're getting them knocked off?
Give me the loot.
Give me the loot.
I'm not going to say it one way or the other, but I am going to say, let's say it like this. There was a point in time when we was fighting in South America, Cuba, you feel me? And in order for America to fund that war, they start pushing dope through Black communities.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not going to say that they knew what that dope was going to do to the Black community, but they definitely knew that they needed to fund their war, and the best way to fund their war was to push that dope through the Black community. Feel me? I feel the same type of way when it comes to this. Like, we got these artists, they in the Black community. We know that there's problems in the Black community. We know they fight each other. You know that they hot-headed. You know that they'll shoot each other. You know what I'm saying? They'll get mad about Black Lives Matter and somebody white or a different color killing Black people, but they kill each other all the time. So we might as well go ahead and take out this insurance policy on these artists because you just never know, and we're going to give you our money back. It's almost like the NFL or NBA. We just want to make sure we got this good insurance policy just in case. Feel me? So
And
go ahead and spin off.
it's sad, but it's a financial move
Absolutely.
to be able to, to protect all the money that they have in place, especially because to even look at a list, first of all, to even have a list, to turn around and say that all these rappers are dying and you can pull them up, yearly, and it just keeps going. Then yeah, it's like they're pulling these artists and stuff in, but they have to come up with a way at the same time to say, okay, if they get out there and unfortunately start following the bandwagon and doing things they shouldn't be doing and taking each other out, or wrong place, wrong time kind of thing, because they started some turmoil, how can we protect, the money that we put into it? Because once they gone, not everybody is a Nipsey, to where once they gone, everything's still gone and money's still flowing in. So it's messed up, and I can see it from both perspectives. Like as an artist, you kind of like, damn, they don't put a life insurance policy on me without me even knowing. But then from the business aspect, like you said, like sports, all of that type of stuff, it's like they got to do it. They got to do something because it's happening too often.
I agree. Now listen, I agree, and we're gonna get off this subject. We're gonna go into my mind's a sip of tea, but. I'm not saying I agree or disagree. I'm just saying, as I said to Ray Son, I'm not talking about a conspiracy. I'm just talking about when you know that you're going to do something, or if I got an artist and I know he in the streets for real, and I know that he's selling drugs, rather than try to help him and get him out of that life, I take an insurance policy out on him. Am I condoning that? Am I using that as part of my brand or my business? Am I looking to prosper on his demise? That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Let's go to a sip of tea, man. Let's get to a sip of tea, man. Come on, what up, though?
I don't even have tea. I don't have anything this morning, but I mean to drink. I have a confession. I have never watched the Kim K sex tape, and I might be the only one here, but am I?
Me neither.
Okay, good.
I haven't even.
And I'm freaky. I ain't see it.
Okay, good.
You ain't missed much.
Okay, good. I didn't think so. But they're still talking about it. And the reason why they're talking about it now is because Ray J wants to clear his name for his kids. No offense, I don't think anybody cares about that either. But so he's now showing contracts that were made up by Kris Jenner and Kim Kardashian. Kim actually signed it for him, and he went as far as to pull a letter that she wrote to him and then told fans, hey, go pull her handwriting off the internet because anybody can do it. And he actually had a professional, what's the word I want to compare the handwriting, and it is legit her. And then fans just went in on it. Like, look at that R is the same. Yeah, that's her. That's this. So it's all coming out to what we already knew, which is it was just planned. It was planned for money. How coincidental that it would come out right after Paris Hilton made her big debut that this would happen. So pretty much Kris Jenner pimped off Kim. Granted, yes, they're millionaires and billionaires now, but I'm just saying, like, that's what she did in order to gain the fame that she had now. And Ray J's like, listen, I just want to clear my name. It was all planned. This is all premeditated. So that's what is in the news right now. And he keeps going with it now. But now you have other people saying, well, he's just miserable and misery loves company. So he's just trying to defame her name and get his flowers. I don't know. I commend him. I think put it all out there. Go ahead, put it all out there. Because honestly, everything has been said about that family. Do you think they really give a shit? They probably don't. But that's just my take.
Listen, and that's crazy because we made a decision that we're gonna do in our little breaks, let our people discuss. So we won't go in on your topic. But I do just want to remind people, listen, I just do want to remind people though, that when the sex tape came out, everybody in Kim's family was talking about Ray J released it. Everybody in Kim's family blamed Ray J. Everybody in Kim's family blamed Ray J. And Ray J is dropping documentation and receipts with signatures and everything on it. You feel me? So I am one to be like, shit, it sound like, you know what I'm talking about? They mama been pimping them girls out. Just look at how they move. Just look at the way it's been moving for years. she been pimping them girls out. You know what I'm talking about? But we gonna go ahead and move on. I'm just saying she might be one of the coldest pimps in the game that ain't nobody talking about. But we'll get back to that later, you heard?
That's what I think.
Is it pimping? Is it pimping your daughter out and things like that? When say like Honey Boo Boo, when they got them dressing up, they in all these tiaras and going around. You know what I'm talking about? Is that almost the same thing?
We talking about the pageant stuff?
The pageant, yeah, the pageants. Is that almost sort of a pimpology?
I would say no.
I think
only because it's not involving sex. You know,
Right.
like they're getting out there, and those like pageant families and stuff. They spend a lot of money to keep them girls up in that thing, but it's not like they putting them out there. You know, letting them have sex in their little pageant gowns, and then
Right,
spilling the video. You know.
No, I hear you. I just want to throw that out there real quick to see what y'all thoughts were on it.
To build on top of what Ray Son say, I see it every day in sports. We doing the same thing with our athletes nowadays. You know what I'm talking about? Even to the point that we reclassing our athletes so that we can give them a better chance to make it. You feel me? I ain't gonna say no names, and y'all know how I get, but I know some kids that's supposed to be in the 10th grade and he's still in the 8th grade. His parents have reclassified him twice so that he could be a better athlete in the class that he's playing against. You know what I mean? Like, it's just not fair. Like, what are we doing nowadays? But that's what we doing. Is pimping the wrong word? Maybe. But I mean, you see it. You can see it's happening. You can see it's going down. You see that it's moving in that direction. You see what's happening. You feel me? So yeah, I appreciate you, Mama. You already know what it is. Thank you for that sip of tea. We're gonna go ahead and sip.
You're welcome.
I'm not sipping tea. I'm sipping coffee. You did? Hold on.
Oh, that pump you up.
I got you, family. I got you, family. Let's go to again, thank you, Mama. That's what's up. I love you for that. Appreciate you. Let's go to topic number 2. What the hell wrong with these dudes? Oh, for real. I'm being so dead ass serious. Like, I mean, I ain't got that much money to own a team. Feel me? So I can't speak about when you got that much money. You know what I'm talking about? Like, I can't speak about people having that much money that you can own your own team, right? But when you own your own team and 75% of your team is black, ain't you gonna be more weary or mindful of the shit you saying? Ain't you gonna be? It's like an example. If I'm dating a white woman, right? If I'm dating a white woman, ain't I gonna be more weary about how I address white people shit as not to offend her? You feel me? And I'm not gonna be sitting around like, oh, that's some white people shit. Well, damn, baby, I'm white. Like, why would you say something like that? You know what I'm saying?
That's the white people shit.
But I'm just saying, like, wouldn't you be more mindful of that type of shit? Like, wouldn't you be more careful with the words and opinions that you forming based upon the people that you working with or you dealing with? Like, let's just talk about it a little bit. Okay, let's just talk.
You would think they would be more careful. I think they become more comfortable, you know, from being around everybody. Like, I'm pretty sure everybody at some point in a race perspective, especially as Black people, you could have sometimes had that one friend, that one white friend or that one Hispanic friend or somebody that's been around the group and stuff like that for a long period of time. So they start to relate more, you know, to your group. And at the same time, they may slip up, they may say something, they may drop the, you know, the nigga word, they may go somewhere around that aspect, and then everybody may turn around for a second. But because it's the homie, they're like, oh, okay, you know, all right, cool. They may laugh it off and tell them, look, don't do that, don't say that, you know, whatever the case may be. So I think they go from being cautious to comfortable until it becomes a problem.
Yeah.
Very good point.
Very good point.
Hey, that's the realest shit ever. I got an example. I can't say no name, but you know, in my daily life, I do a lot. At a practice, I'm at a practice. We all talking. Y'all know me. I'm hood as hell. Feel me? So there's a certain way that we got to speak at practice, right? And we even tell our boys that there's certain words you can't use, right? And all of a sudden, one day after practice, one of our coaches is real comfortable. So he's telling us about a TV show, a comedy, you know what I'm talking about, where they was making fun of Donald Trump and saying he was orange, but he was an orange nigga.
Mm.
And this coach said it 3 or 4 times, like, you don't know that show? And he's like, he's an orange nigga. Nigga, you don't tell me he's an orange nigga. Damn, bro, you super comfortable right now, huh?
Right.
You feel me? So I
Right.
get it, CC.
Yeah.
You feel me? I get it. You know what I mean? I definitely get it. And even something that I teach my kids at my school is, if you've hung out with a group of people and you have allowed somebody outside of our race to say the word, you can't get mad at them now because they saying the word.
Right.
Because we allowed it for so many years. We said it ourselves. We made it a part of hip hop. It is now a term of endearment. What's up, my nigga? That's my nigga. Feel me? So it's almost now, and this is just my opinion, but it's almost now that I've had to do a much better job in separating the ER from the A. Because the A means endearment. The ER is a racist statement. Agree or disagree?
Sort of. I agree with the ER.
I use it loosely.
Go ahead, Ray.
The ER is definitely the racist part of it. You know what I'm saying? The A on it can be a term of endearment, but it could be used however you're using it. You know what I'm saying? If you're using it as in a disrespectful manner, the A could still be a negative negative term. You know what I'm saying? Even in the black community. I'm gonna beat that bitch ass nigga's ass. You know what I'm saying? Then it's still disrespectful, but if it's like, oh, what up, my nigga? You know what I'm saying? So it's all in perspective how you use it.
Agree. Absolutely. OB, you had
Yeah,
something?
Yeah, I got something. Just because I'm coming from a whole different outlook on it. First and foremost, a lot of people don't know this story, and this is probably the realest thing that has ever happened to me in life. Growing up where I grew up, the word is used very loosely as far as towards endearment. There's a lot of people that call me that, and I can't call you back that. However, when I was young and in high school and wasn't as knowledgeable as I am now, didn't understand, what I was saying, I would use that word around my friends, whether they were white or black. It was just accepted because we were comfortable. We knew each other. However, when I got to college and that word came out, this guy took me to the side. The realest, probably the biggest turning point in my life. He took me to the side at this party. He was like, hey, bro, I'm from Georgia. It might be okay where you're from, but to say that word where I'm from is very disrespectful. And I had to sit and think like, damn, this dude could have whooped my ass. He could have embarrassed me in front of everybody, but he took the time to educate me, took me outside, talked to me. And from that moment on, to this day, I do not use that word. I don't care if I'm rapping a song in the car by myself. I will not let that word fly. When white people say it around me, I get very offended. Even if you're not white and you're not black, but you say that word, I still get offended because that word's not meant for everybody to be used. However, I still get called that, and people will be like, oh, he's about to call me one. I don't. You're my homie, you're my dog, you're my bro, whatever, but I'm not going to say that word. So I understand, like, I guess the confusion, because where I grew up, it was accepted at one time in my life. I moved away from that area. I had to adapt and adjust and understand and get educated that, you know what, not everybody knows you. Not everybody's from where you're from. So it's going to affect people a different way being from their background, coming from my background. And like I said, it was probably the most realest time of my life that anybody has ever really just sat me down and said, look, this is what it is. You know, I disagree with what you said. I appreciate if you don't use that around me. And from that day forward, it clicked on me. Like, I don't need to use that word. It don't make me cool. Just because I can say that word, there's nothing cool about that. It's more disrespectful than anything. So I just wanted to share that with the panel, obviously with the viewers, because not a lot of people that can sit up here that look like me that can even tell you that they did that. They said the word before, and somebody had to check them and educate them to understand, like, yo, this word is not for you. And that's okay. But when people use the word like cracker, or a lot of people will say that around me, most of my friends, 95% of them are African Americans. They're always like, no disrespect to you when they throw that word out there. However, at the same time, I still feel like that word is just disrespectful coming from somebody who's not white.
No, I agree. I feel like there's a such thing as reverse racism too. You feel me? There's a such thing, and that's something I teach when it comes to my students. You know what I'm saying? That's something I teach. You know what I mean? Because I know in my home that we do say times, hey, that's white people shit. You know what I'm saying? I know in my home that there is a joke or two cracked about Hispanics, and oh yeah, they was in there like circus clowns. They was packed in the car like circus clowns. You know what I'm saying? Like that, it happens, right? It happens. And I'm sure every culture has their little inside jokes or whatever it may be, right? But that's also a form of reverse racism. So in my class, I teach that. Like, be careful what we say and how we say it, because we can be quick to be like, yo, he's racist. He used racist words. But the connotation that I'm saying, or the joke that I might have just cracked, might be racist too. Yet I try to put it in a joking manner, doesn't mean it's not racist. Go ahead, Mama.
No, so I was just going to say, I was actually going to ask Chris about this, because I know that you always joke that Chris is actually black. So, but with me and Chris both having mixed children, in my home, we don't use that word. And my son has never said that word. And his dad, who is 100% black, doesn't say that word either. That's our personal choice. That's Tyson's choice. But I wanted to know what, Chris having mixed kids too, like, what if your kids grow up saying it, or do you say anything to them about it?
Well, hopefully, I hope that my daughters will grow up and we have educated them enough to understand the meaning of the word, the meaning from, being that you are mixed races, you're coming from the best of both worlds, However, I don't think it's attractive when women use that word, first off. So hopefully, because they are females, that's not a word that's used in their vocabulary. However, if they grow up and they want to use that word, by all means, they have a right to use that word if they so choose. Do I agree with it? Will I accept it? Absolutely. But am I going to be like, oh, you can't use that word, you got to use that word? No. I would just say it's not very attractive to a man when women use that word a lot. And that's what I'll try to preach to my children, that being daughters, being girls, there's certain things that, men think is unattractive. Spitting is one of them. Sitting with your legs open is one of them. Using that word as a African American female to me is unattractive. So hopefully, I'm gonna let them make their own choice. It is what it is. But at the end of the day, I'm always gonna support my babies.
No, I agree. I think me having my own mixed kids, and my daughter is Hispanic and black. My youngest is white and black, right? My oldest daughter definitely says it. You know what I'm saying? She definitely says it, but she's also raised in the.
Oh, there, I lost audio. Sorry.
Well, we lost his audio, so we're talking about Sarver, right? The owner, the team owner. Before we get too off track for that, one of the things he did say was these nigga players need nigga coaches to coach them. So he was definitely way out of line for that. And I think Randy was going to say why he hasn't lost his team because of that.
It's the same thing, ain't it?
Pretty much so. Pretty much so. Donald Sterling was being recorded by his girlfriend.
That's the only difference.
Say again?
That's the only difference. The only difference
I don't think Donald Sterling said nigger though.
No, he was recorded saying nigger. The difference is that he was recorded. Yeah. He was recorded, and the boy Robert wasn't recorded.
What I think separates it, though, I think we lost Rand again. What I think separates the Donald Sterling and the Robert Sarver is Robert Sarver owns the Phoenix Suns along with the Phoenix Mercury. He wasn't only in trouble for racial slurs, he was also in trouble for sexual harassment in the workplace. So how can you be an owner of a female team and, do these sexual harassment, make these slick comments, whether they were intent for harm or not, it doesn't matter. It's however the person that you made those comments to interprets them and takes what you say. But you are the owner of a female team, 75%, we'll just say, of African American, a men's team that's probably 90% African American. So you've done racial slurs and sexual harassment, and you're only suspended 1 year for both. Donald Sterling was banned for life. Adam Silver went to the NBA Board of Governors and forced a sale immediately of the Clippers. And we fast forwarded here 8 years later, and now we're in the same situation, but we're going to hand out a 1 year ban from both the NBA and the WNBA team that you run.
I don't know. It's like a slap on the wrist.
Right. I mean, that $10 million fine is like chump change to him. You know, like losing your NBA team, losing your franchise, your brand that you've established. Now you're always walking around with an asterisk next to your name, no matter what. Now you got Chris Paul walking into the office like, man, I don't think I want to play for this dude. Devin Booker, one of the highly touted shooting guards in the game. I don't think I want to play for this dude. The girls team,
right?
They don't want to play for this dude. So how
right?
Adam Silver has handled every situation up to this point in the NBA perfectly. He dropped the ball on this one.
I agree. We're going to move on. I don't know if it's my internet or the internet period. I got all the bars, but I don't know what's going on today. But we're going to keep it pushing right now. We're going to keep it pushing.
You know, when you pause out, we're gonna keep going for you. We're gonna keep the ball bouncing.
Please do. I appreciate y'all. You know what I'm talking about? Please do. Let's go to Ray Son. Ray Son, why don't you give us what's the word? It's your segment. What up, bro?
What's the word? Y'all see Cardi B donated $100,000 to her middle school alma mater, right? Which is really dope. I don't know if y'all are Cardi B fans or whatnot, but in the lieu of all this death and violence, at least we hear something good coming out of hip hop.
Indeed. I think that's dope.
No, that's really dope. But the crazy part about that is she just did that, and then 2 days before that, she was sentenced to 15 days of community service. She accepted a plea deal from her 2018 strip club fight case. So Cardi B, man. Cardi B still in the news, but hey, I appreciate Cardi B, what she's doing. She's a Grammy award winning artist. So shout out Cardi B for doing her thing, man. I ain't gonna keep y'all. That's the word right there. Hip hop is still doing good things in the community, no matter what they say about the violence and this and that. We're still getting back. We're still holding it down.
Factual, and you already know I'm a big advocate of the community. You know what I'm talking about? If it ain't about the community, then what we doing it for? Because ultimately, when you build your brand, you know what I'm talking about, when you're doing your business, your business is supposed to support and help your community. You feel me? So y'all already know Crown Republic, that's what we do. I surround myself by them same people, so I appreciate that. I appreciate that part of y'all as well. Just put that out there to all of our viewers and listeners. If you're a part of this round table, you definitely doing something in your community. You feel me? So I definitely appreciate that part. I appreciate you, bro. That was the you know what I'm talking about. That was the word. What's the word with Ray Son? You know what I'm talking about. I got a question for you, Ray Son, not to get off your topic too fast, but tell me, this is just me asking you. Tell me, and kind of
he froze again.
He froze again. Hey, but why he froze? Like there's been a lot of violence and everything in hip hop. Hip hop is not about that. Hip hop is the co-founders set out for hip hop to be peace, love, and having fun. So all this violence you see and all this beefing and shooting ops and all that is not what hip hop is about. That's some other bullshit that's not hip hop. Let's go, Randy. Let's go.
I agree, brother. I agree with you. Let's go.
I think he was about to say 10.
No, not this week. No, I'm just playing.
Hey, our next topic was the Little Mermaid. Have you guys been seeing the backlash from the Little Mermaid previews? She's had over 1.5 million dislikes about the Little Mermaid being a young black chick.
But isn't that crazy though? It's like all these years, yes, we did have, a Caucasian Little Mermaid. And I'm a huge fan of the Little Mermaid. You turn that on right now, I'm singing songs from the time it starts to the time it ends. And I'm singing it louder than the kids, and I'm all the way into it. But, for myself as a little girl, yes, we did have, all of that type of stuff, Little Mermaid and a lot of cartoons that we didn't get to see, characters, skin tone, like ourselves. So I'm excited. But even though that, a lot of people are doing a lot of backlash on it, I still think when it hits the box office, I still think everybody's going to run and still go see it. And now because of it, I'll go see it 2-3 times if I got to. I'm still going to sing the songs.
Definitely. Definitely.
Actually,
girl.
It don't make sense. Let's dive into the topic. I don't know if people really know, but the Little Mermaid is actually a Danish story, right? So a lot of people are upset because Little Mermaid is black and it comes from a Danish story. So people are upset, like if it's a Danish story, she shouldn't be black. What's your opinions on that?
Well, the Bible should be upset that Jesus is white and he is not. He is from the Middle East. But when you meet Jesus, all these people who did 1.5 million dislikes on Ariel being a young black lady, then when you meet Jesus, when your time comes, you are going to be very disappointed to see that he does not look like you.
You better say it.
Man, they shouldn't be too disappointed if they read their Bible, right?
Hey, I posted this the other day. Like, yo, if you mad about Little Mermaid being black, then boy, you are gonna be distraught when Jesus come back, because it say in the Bible that he had hair of wool and skin of bronze. Like, what are you upset about? Like, I don't. What are you mad about?
What are the stories of Jesus living is present day Iraq. So do they look like me? No, sir.
It's crazy. I see you, Ray Son. I see you. I don't. Okay, here, let's say this. Should we even be recreating cartoons? The cartoons that we grew up on, should they be recreated or should we leave them like they were?
If done right. Now, they can't recreate it and they just make it a horrible, version. Don't have the, right actors or the singing, because sometimes these days with the songs, they get real carried away with remixing some of the songs when you're really looking for the original stuff. So I think if they can do it in the right way, okay, why not bring it a little bit more up to date? But not if they gonna tarnish it as a whole. Then it's best to just leave the original.
Right. They should definitely do it. And they're doing it. We got Miles Morales, the young Black Spider-Man. We got a Black Green Lantern. We got the Black Panther. But growing up in our day and age, growing up in the 80s, all our heroes were white. Our wrestlers were white. All our superheroes were white. All the men that saved the world were white. Chuck Norris was saving the world. Jean-Claude Van Damme was saving the world. Clint Eastwood. So it's all about representation. Our kids need that representation because there has been a lack of in the past. So, we're catching up.
I dig that.
Yeah.
So go ahead, Chris.
I think we should, give the new era of Disney some kind of credibility, because at one time Disney was one of the most racist people ever. We never saw a person of color be a character until just recently in the 2000s of a main actor of a movie. So to be able to see the transformation and the growth of the company of Disney and the recreations of these movies, I think we kind of got to give them like a little applaud to them to stepping outside of what the norm was coming from Walt Disney.
No, I
Walt
agree there.
Disney has they've been very diverse over the years. I just don't think that people have really given them as much credit as they should have, because sometimes you can watch some movies and you see every race that you could possibly think of. Like, even if you go all the way back, I'm not sure if Disney did it, but y'all remember Cinderella with Brandy? I don't know if y'all saw that. But if you watch that, it was Brandy, it was Whitney Houston, and it, as a godmother. The prince, I think, was like Asian. I'm not exactly sure if he was Asian, or his direct descent. But the entire cast, each person was almost a different nationality. But when you get down to it, it's still, teaching the kids at the end of the day to still love one another, because they don't see all that. They see Cinderella, all they see is a princess. But as you start getting older, like where you have a panel like all of us, we got to sit here right now and talk about, should it be done? Just because the color of the skin is different. So I think that's a big thing right there, because the kids don't look to that.
I feel like cartoons nowadays have done a great job. I'm about to give away my age, but y'all remember when there was the Super Friends? Was it Super Friends?
Yeah.
When it was Bo Jackson, Wayne Gretzky, like all these professional athletes, they had a cartoon, remember? And that was dope to me because it was a group of people of diverse color, right? I just remember being young and being like, yo, that was dope. You feel me? I think now it's even doper because you got movies like Rio, what's it with the little Hispanic girl and the house?
Encanto.
Bro, like all these different Moana, I'm talking about, like we got all these different culturally based stories now. You feel what I'm saying? That to me is dope. Like, it's dope. There's the what's it called? Princess and the Frog with the black princess. Like, there's so many different cartoons now that any kid of any color can go on a cartoon now and see themselves in a cartoon. So I have to agree with CC that when we grew up, we didn't see a lot of cartoon characters that reminded us of us.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I think in my opinion, I think that we shouldn't be so hypersensitive. I think that people are so hypersensitive nowadays. You know what I'm saying? Instead of them being receptive, like, let's be receptive of what we're seeing. Cartoons now are giving people the idea, or if I don't know much about your culture, I can watch a cartoon now and learn more about your culture than me sitting down and talking to you, which I feel like is bad too. But if the only way I'm gonna learn about your culture is through this cartoon, then what everybody's so mad about?
Mm-hmm.
Agree.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna play devil's advocate real quick though, just because we talked about it last time. So, what if they come out with a cartoon that has transgender in it because they're not feeling represented? Are you watching it? Are you allowing your kids to watch it?
No.
I don't.
No.
It would be based upon the content of the cartoon. Like we could even say that about Beavis and Butthead. We could say that about
South Park.
What's the cartoon with the two black kids, and the old
The
man,
Boondocks.
is racist.
The Boondocks.
Yeah.
Boondocks.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, come on, man. You can say that. I mean, I can name a whole bunch of different cartoons. Like, what's the cartoon with the little cartoon characters? They be tearing up shit. They got a video game. They got big heads and shit, small head. Kenny always dying. What the boy name? Kenny
South
always
Park.
dying.
Oh, South Park.
You
Yeah.
can say that about. I can say that about a whole bunch of cartoons. Do I want my kids watching that? Like, it depends on the content. You feel me? SpongeBob is really weird to me. When I watch SpongeBob, I see a lot of sexual stuff in SpongeBob. But when I ask my daughter about SpongeBob, she be like, "Dad, you're tripping. What are you talking about?" But when I watch it, I be like, "Yo, that's not sexual. Yo, that's not sexual. Am I missing something? Y'all don't see that? I just feel like it's the content. You know what I mean? What is the cartoon talking about? If this cartoon is about transgender and they're making us more aware about how transgenders feel in this world today, then I probably would watch it. Or I probably would ask my daughter and them if they sitting down watching it, how they feel about it, because it might be enlightening. Again, it's like Moana. It's like some of these other cartoons that's giving us information about these cultures that we wouldn't normally receive. So I don't think I'm biased to it. I would just need to know what's the content. You know what I mean? What are we putting? Here's another one. I don't know if y'all know. I got a 5-year-old. She watches this thing on YouTube and they like little worms or some shit, right? They like little worms and shit. And they throw up on each other and they fart on each other and they spit on each other and they do all kinds of weird shit, right? And they hurt each other. Like they do weird shit. Like, what in the hell? Like, and my youngest, she loves that shit. This is
He froze. I don't know what show that is he's talking about. What show is that? Y'all know about that?
I don't know, and I don't think I want to know.
But I know Netflix had Big Mouth. Hold on.
Yes.
Wait, because I have to say this. The first season I watched 1,000,000 times, and I promise I was like, I wish they would have had this when I was growing up, because then I wouldn't have had to battle through puberty. I would have knew what it was, if that's the word I want to use. But then
the hormone monster.
You're right. I because I don't.
Wait, I'm gonna have to pull that one up. I didn't know about that. You said that's on Netflix. What's it called? I got my phone. I'm looking right now.
If you watch it, don't have the kids around.
No. That is not a kid's show. But again, like what I was saying, the first season was cool. Then they got into that what we talking about now with the second and the third season. I'm like, I just don't like the fact that kids in middle school is cool with picking like they sexual preference at the age. Like, why are you in middle school worrying about if you like man or woman? You know what I'm saying? You shouldn't even be worried about that. You should be learning and trying to have fun and be a kid. Because once you get out of that stage, it's gonna be in this world. But again, boom, you know, what is it?
Right.
Get Big Mouth was cool for the first season. They just flipped that, and now I won't watch it because I'm not with it. Like, I ain't with it.
It's in a lot of teen shows these days. The from the movies all the way to like the little TV shows. So you seeing all of it, and they're so quick now to even have teenage actors kissing, you know, or having sex on the same stage. So cool. That it is pretty crazy. It's like you could be watching something or think something is teen friendly because the whole cast is teens. They get real bucks sometimes, you know, just like some of the adult stuff. And you'll be looking like, wait a minute, that's she was just with her girlfriend.
When did they make it appropriate for y'all age to view this? Like, I'm not. I wasn't able to view this when I was growing up. Like, what's the difference
No.
between y'all and me? Why it was covered up when I was growing up, but y'all got it out in the open now that the little kids, you know? I'm like, I don't like that.
Let me say this.
Right.
Listen to this. Check this out. And tell me if I'm wrong or if you agree. But even social media now is soft porn.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
Even social media right now is soft. I can go right now onto my Instagram, and I don't even remember following some of these people. But shit, I can look at soft. If I want some soft porn, shit, I can open up my Instagram and be like, yeah, cakes and titties, cakes and titties.
Right.
You feel me?
So
But it's supposed to be for adults only. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
social media is supposed to be for adults only, but they made it accessible for teenagers.
Yeah.
So, you know, because I know when I was on there, it was not for little kids, and I was doing the most.
Yeah.
It's why I
Snapchat
got
and
so many
Instagram.
pages. But I had to
Go ahead,
calm
Ray.
that down.
What you got, Ray?
I'm thinking the TV situation of how it's changed in the past. Well, we've seen how it's changed. Now you can say profanity on a regular TV show. You can show transgenders and homosexuals. You can even show tits and ass, and in some shows you can show the men's genitalia, right? You can also say nigga on TV. You can say this, that, and other, but you can't say the F word. So what's going on with it? You know what I'm saying? Where do they pull the line at?
What line?
Because it's out of control. It is
What
out
line?
of control.
I feel like they blurred the line a long time ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
They
The
did.
line is
At this
defined by
point
the
now,
network.
it's like, what's the point of even rating these shows? You know,
Right.
'cause it used to be you could go directly off the rating. You know, you see something that say PG-13 or a movie PG-13, and you think, okay, you know, it's okay for the teens. But then slowly but surely over time, they start slipping stuff up in there too. You know, jokes, adult jokes and stuff that maybe a kid may not get at that moment. And I know sometimes they probably do it to keep our adult attention when we taking these little kids to go see movies and stuff like that, little things that we may only get that we'll laugh about. But it's gone from being small and slipping something in to now it's big and they just don't care. So I'm like, why rate it?
Let me tell you a
Right.
secret. Something that we talked about a couple days ago with some friends, and I never thought about it until a couple friends talked to me about it. But y'all remember Adult Swim?
Yeah.
Yep.
Those were adult cartoons. And I remember hundreds of kids talking to me about Adult Swim, and I didn't even know about Adult Swim. What you mean Adult Swim? What is that?
Yeah.
And the first time I watched it was the first time I really sat down and was like, yo, these ain't no kid cartoons. This shit ain't for kids. This shit is for adults. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Right.
The shit they saying, the plots to the story, the things that are happening inside these cartoons, this is not for the kids.
It
Yet
sure
kids was
ain't.
watching it. All the kids was watching it. You feel me?
Rick and Morty.
Man.
Robot chicken. Robot chicken.
Let's talk about this before we get off this topic. What's next? Is it fair to say that America is still racially biased?
Hell yeah.
100.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
It is.
What's the reason why? Can we get a why?
Ooh. Is it that the powers that be are scared to see their lineage, you know what I'm saying, lose their lineage? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think
That's
it
what I
is
think.
power.
Are the powers that be being breeded out? So, you know, just throw that out there.
Here's my thing. I think white people, when it comes to science, are the least dominant race on the entire planet. Black being the strongest. Black people's dreams are way stronger. They're on the strongest part of the spectrum scale. White people's at the bottom. So I feel like it's a fear of, losing that power, like you said, Ray, son. Like, you take a white person and a black person and they make a baby, you're going to know the baby's mixed. You take a white person and put it with an Asian, you're going to know the baby's mixed. It's always going to be towards the dominant. A white baby mixed with another race is never going to be labeled as they're white. They're always going to look outside of white. And I think it's a fear of the white community that we are so non-dominant as far as reproduction, scientifically, that trying to use the power to gain back a dominance that they can't have scientifically. That's just a natural dominance.
No, that's facts. I agree. And before we get off this topic, and this is the reason why I asked about racially biased, we're talking about a country where our forefathers were white men from England and Britain and places of that sort, right? And the way that the country was fathered by white men. And the way that the country has grown has been productively by white businessmen. Mm-hmm. Okay? So when you start to change the demographic of the country, where white businessmen, white men are no longer in control of the power structure, and those color lines start to blur, when I can no longer say that white is right and black is wrong, when you start to get as many mixed children as we have in the world today, how can you be racist of something you are? How can I be mixed white and black and then say I don't like black people? Or how can I be mixed white and black and say I don't like white people? That don't really work. I mean, I'm sure you can, but it just sounds real idiotic if you were to say that, right? So I agree with you, OB, in a sense that the powers that be, the structure has been built a certain kind of way, and now the legs of the structure are being cut from within or from underneath them, and there's definitely some part of that white structure where people like, yo, hold on for a minute, slow down. We getting a little too dark. We're losing, and I get it. Listen, I've never had a problem with people saying white power because I believe in black power, right? I support my culture. If someone white says white power, if you're talking about supporting your race and your color, I'm for that. But if you're talking about white power, where as if anybody other than white people are inferior to you, that's something different. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You feel me? So I've never been a big advocate of being like, yo, I'm against people that support their own color. Brown power, Asian power, whatever you want to call it. You know what I'm talking about? Polynesian power, whatever you want to be. I'm all for people supporting their culture and their races, right? I'm just not for you promoting your race, but putting somebody else's race down so that you can step up a level or two or feel inferior or feel supreme to somebody else because you say you are. It's different to me. Right. It's a little different. Let's go to sports talk with Chris. Chris, OB, go ahead, finish it up.
All right, I'm gonna be real quick on this first little spot because I got something that might spark a little small debate. Texas A&M paid $1.5 million to Appalachian State this past Saturday for a guaranteed game and a loss at home versus Appalachian State after they paid them $1.5 million to come over to College Station and play. Also, Notre Dame paid $1.25 million to Marshall for them to come to South Bend and lost. So we got two high-powered college teams paying over $1 million for guaranteed games to these mid-major schools to come play them, and the mid-majors walk out of there with a win. And then to finish up, I want to recap week one of the NFL, and this might spark some kind of small debate. Dallas Cowboys lost their quarterback, Dak Prescott, in the game. He is out for at least 6 weeks. The Dallas Cowboys, from what I remember growing up and until now, has always been classified as America's team.
Where?
They've lost America's team over the past years, especially since Jerry Jones has been the owner, the general manager. He might as well be the quarterback and the coach. But I think they've lost that tag of America's team ever since his ownership. They haven't had winning seasons in a long time. So what I was thinking to bring back America's team title to the Dallas Cowboys was go sign Colin Kaepernick.
Woo!
Sign Colin Kaepernick. Now you get the backing of so many people that you've probably lost because of your views and the way we're not kneeling on this field and you're not going to be on my team if you
Toe the line.
You bring Colin Kaepernick in, you re-salvage the America's team for the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I hear that, but Jerry Jones, just his words telling people to toe the line, things like that. I don't even think Colin Kaepernick would want to play for that team. I know he wants to be back in the NFL, but that's a lot. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot on his shoulders to go play for that man right there.
Listen, both points valid. If you want to clean up the image of the NFL, you sign Colin. Absolutely. Will Jerry do it? I doubt it. Too much money in Texas for him to bring Colin Kaepernick down to Texas.
His pride is his side. That's his problem.
Right.
I agree with you with the pride, but I think got a lot more to do with them people that's putting that money into that stadium and into that damn football team. He ain't willing to lose some of that money to sign that quarterback.
Money got a lot to do with it.
Money got everything to do with it.
But when you're losing, you have a chance to start the season at 0-6. You could be eliminated from the playoffs in 6 weeks.
Somebody somewhere feels like them dollars mean more than losing, because next year they're going to come right back out and support us. They're going to buy season tickets again next year. But if I sign Colin Kaepernick, I might turn some people off down here in Dallas, Texas, that don't want me to sign that dude.
Definitely. And there's no way he's signing Colin Kaepernick because he wants his team to toe the line. Kaepernick is not going to get on the sideline and put his hand over his heart for the flag or whatever the situation may be. That's not going to happen. And you know Jerry Jones and his supporters need that to happen if Colin Kaepernick was on the team. I just don't see it. Bring him to the Raiders, though, because goddamn Derek Carr threw 3 interceptions and was sacked 5 times.
It's okay. It's okay. I got Derek Carr on my fantasy team. They're going to do all right. We got to keep that energy good. You know what I'm talking about? Keep that energy good. It was a good game last week. The defense did their thing. We're not talking about no scrub. You're talking about that's a good defense over there in San Diego. You know what I'm talking about? So we hoping for a better week this week. Keep your fingers crossed because he's my starting quarterback on my fantasy. Appreciate you, Ray, son. Don't do that.
Hoping for a better week. Go ahead and say that again.
I need that. Hoping. Hell yeah, hoping. I need that because I'm down by 24 points. I'm down by 48 points already, and ain't none of my players played yet. Like, damn. Let's go ahead and do this closing. In closing, man, I appreciate y'all, man. Thanks for everybody in the comments. You know what I'm talking about? I think my man Carter, I think he kind of took my conversation the wrong way, but it's cool. I appreciate you watching, brother. We done had a hell of viewers, not just 6, but I appreciate you coming in and giving us your opinion. We hope for you to have the best success in whatever genre or music or whatever you're doing. I hope that you are very successful in what you're doing. But over here, we got opinions. And over here, we're going to voice them opinions. That's what we do over here at the round table. You did? Yes, sir.
Real quick. The WNBA Aces might bring Las Vegas their first championship tonight.
Yeah. I'm trying to go to the parade. You heard me? Stop playing.
Man, for real.
And if the first one is the women, I'm going to be there supporting them like we was the Golden Knights. You heard me?
Definitely.
Absolutely.
So I just had to get that in there real quick.
No, I appreciate you putting that in there. Let me, while we putting it in, let me shout out the sponsors. I didn't talk about the sponsors today. Crown Music, Naughty Dots, It's the Crown Radio, AMG, Fifth Element Hip Hop, Wild Graphics, IMG, You know what I'm talking about? Make sure you checking out IMG. You heard me? It's major. You know what I'm talking about? This is the Crown Republic edition of IMG, International Music Magazine. You know what I'm talking about? Everybody in Crown Republic, if you're part of Crown Republic, if you've been a part of Crown Republic, you in this magazine. You dig what I'm talking about? And lastly, before I get up out of here, you know what I'm talking about? I don't know if you know or you know or you don't know. You know what I'm talking about? But shout out to this sponsor making that good Kool-Aid. You know what I'm talking about? If you don't know about this, come holler at me. This that good Kool-Aid. This that you had a long day and I need some Kool-Aid. You know what I'm about? This that good Kool-Aid. You know what I'm talking about? Shout out to all the sponsors, man. Like Soul Central Magazine. Like, man, I can't even. So many people involved in what we doing, sharing this thing, pushing this thing. I really appreciate everybody, man. Love y'all, man. More than y'all know. As you see, I don't understand what's going on with the internet, but next episode, we're going to figure it out again. You heard what I'm talking about? We're going to keep it pushing. Don't nothing stop this show, you did? We're going to keep it going. You know what I'm talking about? To all my panel again, man, I say I appreciate y'all, man. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. You know what I'm saying? Two-hand salute. I appreciate y'all each and every week. Thank y'all for all the hard work y'all put in, man. I know y'all always thanking me, and if it ain't for us, we don't do shit. You feel me? It ain't no one person thing. It's us, and if it ain't for us, we don't accomplish shit. So I appreciate y'all. You did. Thank y'all. All my panel. Before we get out of here, can we send them deuces?
Deuces.
Yeah, man, Rand Black, man. I appreciate everybody, man, for being here today, man. I appreciate everybody chiming in the comments. I say again, man, don't take nothing to offense in this conversation. It's all about conversation. It's about sparking. It's about talking. It's about getting your opinion heard. Love it, love it, love it. Please keep dropping us comments. Please sharing. You know what I'm talking about? It is a beautiful, beautiful thing over here, man. And I love what it is that we doing. So until next time, make sure that you being influential in your community. Make sure that you teaching somebody something, especially the next generation. Each one teach one. You know what I'm talking about? And from my guest panel to y'all, I want to say thank you all. Appreciate you all. Until next time, your man, Rand Black, Crown Public Entertainment. And we out of here. You there? Ski!